It's time for the June budget report, so stick around because I have some exciting news to share that is going to change our budgeting for the next few months. Hi friends, I'm Jen with the Budget Bounce, and we are fighting our way through a mountain of stupid debt that we've accumulated over the years. We are following Dave Ramsey's baby steps and are currently on baby step number 2, the debt snowball. It's time for the June budget report, so let's just jump right in.
Okay, so let's just jump right into the income. Our income was up in June because Matt had an overlap with his new full-time job and his side gig of delivering papers. So it was more than it has been, plus it was more than we anticipated. So yeah, we came in $421 over in income this month than what we planned. Our giving was right on target at $20. And then our housing was pretty much right on target as well, with just a small overage of $3.27 because of the internet bill. So yeah, I consider that a win for sure. Next up, we have transportation. We were pleasantly surprised at how transportation turned out in June. Gas came in well under the budgeted amount of $550 at $485. And that $550 was already set $150 under the actual cost that we had in May. So we spent $700 in May, we budgeted $550 in June, and we spent just $485. So this is a huge improvement in this category. That is all thanks to the fact that Matt is no longer delivering papers every day. Of course, we had our OnStar and our auto insurance that we have each month. And then we also have a line in here for the Traverse to be detailed. So if you remember in my May budget report, I talked about how the Trailblazer basically crapped out on us at the end of April. It threw a rod and has been sitting in the driveway ever since while we are trying to figure out what we're going to do with that. And because of that, that was Matt's work truck for the paper route. And unfortunately, since he didn't have that, he used the Traverse for the paper route for the last 2 months that he was delivering. And that is just a messy job. Over time, that ink from the paper gets all over the place, and it just makes everything really dingy and everything. So I made a point of setting up a line item in June to have the Traverse detailed as soon as he was done. So it was 10 days. Yeah, June 9th was his last day of delivering, and happy birthday to me. I got the Traverse detailing done on my birthday. So yeah, I was really excited to have that done. And so that actually came in $25 under. So in transportation, we came in a total of $90 under for the month. Next up is the food category and entertainment. So we'll talk about food first here. So we budgeted $550 for groceries. And again, this was another place that we did really well in. Matt made Aldi his primary stop for groceries the whole month, supplementing with Hy-Vee sales and the occasional purchase at Walmart, and it really paid off. We spent $109 less than we planned on groceries. We ended up spending everything that we planned in dining. There might have even been a little overflow up here, but we really stuck to our budget and did a great job in this category. So yeah, Matt did a really awesome job here. The entertainment category, apparently I paid ahead on our cable bill. I don't remember doing it, but apparently I did because we didn't owe anything this month, which was fine. And then our Hulu, Netflix, those are standard. And then we had, of course, our HP ink service, which is the ink for our printer. And then we have a monthly movie club subscription with Cinemark. That is the one thing that we do per month that's what our entertainment budget is used for, is to go to a movie every month. So I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get down to the bottom to the envelopes. And then the last thing in here was a trip to see my sister's family. And we budgeted $200 for that, and we actually came in right on target for that. So that was a trip that as soon as we found out that we were going to be able to have Matt quit doing the paper route, and he was going to be down to one job and have weekends off, we planned that right away. My sister and my mom are my two very best friends, and Matt is really close with our brother-in-law. and they have very similar sense of humor and really enjoy each other's company. So it was just what both Matt and I needed to have now that we both have weekends off. And we came in right under budget. So I just felt really good about the fact that we didn't spend anything more than we planned for the weekend. And overall, we were $44 under for entertainment for the month. Now, as we look at insurance this month, this is a lot different than what it has been. So you'll see down here that we have a $157 overage. And okay, sorry about that. Matt was walking through and I needed to talk to him for a second. So anyhow, for insurance, this is, we came in over budget in this category because we didn't want to cancel my insurance coverage through my employer, which is where all of us were covered, before we got confirmation, that all three of us were set up on Matt's insurance. So we paid for both coverages in June, which made a big difference in, I'm sorry, let me get this off of there, which made a big difference in what we expected to pay. That's where the $157 came in. So a couple of things here. The mortgage disability hasn't kicked back in yet, but if you look, this is my standard premium, and then we expected Matt to have to pay $200, but he had to pay $299, and so that ended up being a total of almost $665 for medical insurance, and that is not what it's going to be going forward. For all of us to be covered on his insurance, it's $398 a month. So you'll see that change next month. Again, here we had all of us on, not all of us, it was me and Henry on my dental. Didn't want to cancel that until we were for sure that we're set up on Matt's, and that is $19.50 a month. And so he actually had to pay for 2 pay periods when it kicked in finally. And then vision, we went ahead and paid for all of us to be on vision, but actually vision is included on with Matt's employer for free. So it's just a part of the medical coverage. You get vision insurance with it. Then for flexible spending, this is my standard flexible spending. And then we had anticipated doing $50 a month with Matt, but because it was right at the very end of their plan year, which ended on June 30th, timing was just really weird. He worked 6 weeks at the end of the benefits year, and then everything reset on July 1st. So for some reason, because of that, there's an $80 per paycheck minimum or $160 a month per minimum. I'm not sure. So it ended up being $160 instead of the $50 that we thought it was going to be, which actually I probably should have put $100 in here. Anyhow, the rest of this is all standard. There's some new line items here for Matt and what he has covered, but everything else was already here. Xander didn't actually post in June, so I think I'm going to end up having 2 in July. So, because I think the first one's going to be on the 2nd, and the last one will probably be on the 29th or 30th at the end of the month. So anyhow, 157 over in this category, but that will be better in July. And actually, I think if I recall going through this, this is the only category that we came in over on for the whole month. Okay, so here you can see for health, we have the standard $10.05 that apparently it's going to be now instead of $10.65. I think this is the 3rd month in a row. So in July, I actually set up the budget for $10.05. For extras, we were, once again, I typically have paid the annual child support fees to Tazewell County by April, May at the very latest. And it's now the beginning of July, and we still have not received anything from them. So that's carried over to July. And for the budget bounce, I anticipated $50 for the month, but with the subscription that I have for Tuber Tools and another tool that I purchased, it only came in at $26 for the month. Owen's Place is Matt's business and his resale business, and he's got an account with Amazon that didn't do very well, and so he had to pay $39.99 to Amazon, so that was unexpected. And then with Mary Kay, I had some orders that I had to place, but part of our income for the month actually was from Mary Kay. So I didn't have all the details up there this time, but yeah, so I had income that offset all of this. And then for gifts, the reason why it's so high, I think last month I talked about how many birthdays and with Mother's Day and Father's Day and our anniversary and everything all falling in May and June. It's just crazy. Plus we had a wedding and we had two graduations. So yeah, it was really expensive. So we had some of this, but we cash flowed the rest of it. I knew this was going to be high again in June, and that's the way it's going to be every year. May and June are going to be high no matter what, and it's just because it's all concentrated during that time. But overall, we came in $58 under what we planned, even with these overages, and yeah, it ended up working out great. Okay, so for envelopes, I added a new column, so that actually a couple of columns, so we can see the running total for each sinking fund. I said sinking fund, I meant envelope, sorry. We didn't end up spending all of our entertainment. So first of all, I'm sorry, city utilities, this is our water, sewer, trash, that kind of stuff. We pay it quarterly, so it's at $300, and that will all be utilized in July to pay the bill when it comes up in the middle of the month. And then for entertainment, we didn't end up using any of it because the movie we selected to go to was Jurassic World. We were out of town the weekend that it actually came out in theaters, and so we couldn't watch it till this past weekend on June 30th. So none of it posted in June. So we're just moving that all over to July so that we will see it'll post for that, and then whatever, I don't even remember what movie we've selected for July, to be honest. Maybe we won't go to one. But anyhow, so that's why entertainment ended up not having anything. For Henry, I planned on 40, we spent 70, and that's because we had to buy him some clothes for the wedding that we went to. My 16-year-old is 5'11" and growing, so none of his nice clothes fit him. So we had to go get him a pair of pants and a shirt before we went, literally the day before we went to the wedding. Then for miscellaneous, I budgeted more than the normal 50 here, and I honestly cannot remember why. I honestly do not remember why I put that in there. I had plans for doing something, but I only ended up spending $75 instead. So anyhow, and this is actually, I need to work on this. These are not set up correctly. So let's just move on to Nikayla. So Nikayla's envelope, so she already had $60 in it, and we didn't put anything in it that we planned because we ended up spending $21.14 on this new toy that we got for her. It's a walker thing that helps her. It's very interactive, and it helps her now that she's crawling and pulling herself up and that kind of thing. She is 8 months old on the 3rd of July, so she is just a moving and a shaking these days. She's quite the escape artist, so we're having a good time with that. And so her grandpa found something on Amazon that was perfect for that, and her Lala said, sure, just put it in the cart. So here we are. And then of course, Matt and I had our standard $40 per month for our pocket money each. Toiletries, we came in under. We just didn't need as much as I thought we would. And then of course we have the envelope for Xanthi, and so we got that done. So overall, we came in under by $105, and another category that we're under, and I need to work on these. I'm sorry, these columns were intended for sinking funds, not for envelopes, so they're not all set up correctly. Okay, so for sinking funds, I have reorganized these a little bit. These are all the funds that I have in Capital One 360, plus a couple of other things that we have elsewhere. So first of all is Amazon Prime. We had to do $11 to get ready for the $120 renewal next May. Auto registrations, we have 2 to save for, and so one of those is going to be due in August for about $105. We have all of that already, plus the 18. We have plenty to pay for that. The other one is not due until December, so we have plenty of time to save up for that one. Christmas was the standard $50, so you can see we now have a balance of $200 and change in there. Clothing, another $50, which puts us at $105 and change for our clothing budget for the family. I did not put anything in gifts because we had so much to spend. I just left it in the checking account. For Henry's school, we put $75 a month in there. He does have registration coming up here soon, and actually soon in July. It's in about 3 weeks. So we'll get him all registered for school. Plus, we're going to have to pay some tuition for his dual credit courses. So I think that it's like $25 per credit hour or something like that for each course that he takes, which is much less expensive than if he were actually going to college. So we've really encouraged him to take advantage of that, and we're hoping that that will work well for him so he can get some credit and not have to pay for that himself when the time comes. We put another $29 into our image and cosmetics envelope, and I actually have a hair appointment coming up in July, so we'll be dipping into that. This 1 month ahead is just it's really more a wish. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to do this, but I put a little bit in there to open the account. The pet expense, this is for meds and vet bills and food and things like that. Cotton's grooming that we have to do every month because she's a long-haired cat. We're trying to build it up for more meds for Bella because those are coming up. And then we've got the cats Lucy and Cotton are our cats, and they will have their vet visits this fall in like October. So we'll need to get them in for that. Travel, this is the money that I set aside. It was basically a flow through, really. I put it in and ended up using it elsewhere, and I show it in income and all that good stuff. So anyway, it ended up being a wash, and I probably didn't even need to show this here. Then we have, and this was for our trip, for our trip to see my sister this weekend. So then we have vacation. So we talked with my sister and her family while we were there, and we're really hoping that maybe we can work out a little mini vacation with them next summer. The kids are getting so much older. By that time, Henry will have finished his junior year of high school, and my niece and nephew will have finished their sophomore year of high school, and they're going to be graduating and going away, and we just wanted to try to get away and do a vacation with them before that happens. So we're putting away $100 a month for a modest vacation. It'll just be a drive away somewhere. And then the next item is the vehicles, and this is just for general maintenance. We had used all of that up in May for the back and forth with towing the Trailblazer and the diagnostics for it and all that stuff. So anyway, we're trying to rebuild that back up. So those are all the Capital One accounts. And then we have life insurance. This is actually in a credit union. And this is building up I have a premium, an annual premium that we pay at the end of the year. And then, of course, our emergency fund is showing here, and we had $1,000 in there. And because it's sitting in Capital One, it earned 84 cents in interest in June. So yeah, it's got a little bit extra. So our total sinking funds are currently at $2,713.92. And the remainder of our sinking funds are here. We have them in USAA and separate accounts over there. So the 50th anniversary, this is some money set aside that I'm putting away for my parents' 50th anniversary celebration. We'll take them out to dinner while we're with family over Thanksgiving. It happened that the year they got married, it was Thanksgiving night. And so we'll probably celebrate with them on probably Friday after Thanksgiving before we have the big celebration with my dad's family on Saturday. So then estate planning, we went ahead and put some money in there this month. We had some extra, and so we chose to go ahead and set some of that up, and we'll be doing something with that later in the year. And then we didn't put anything in the air conditioner fund because that's just not a priority right now. And same thing with the technology fund or laptop fund. There's just money in there from when I opened the account. And then the last thing is the wedding anniversary for us. This is ours. And so this is saving up for next year so we can do whatever we decide to do to celebrate it. So total, our new balance, I should say, is $137.23 in these. Again, these are minor funds that are not priorities right now. But I am seriously considering moving them over to Capital One because they're not earning any interest at all. And so Capital One is earning 1%. And so that's probably where I need to have those. Okay, so moving on to debt. So of course you can see these are all of the things that we paid off prior to June. And then we have 2 medical bills here that we paid off this month. They've been lingering for the past year or so, and so I was really glad to just kind of get those off my back. And then another one that I was able to put a chunk to was another medical bill. We only have a $100 balance after June, and so I'm expecting to get that paid off in July. Everything else, as we move down through here, is they're all pretty much the same, paying minimums where I can. Again, the challenge is that several of these are Matt's and they won't talk to me, and we didn't slow down long enough to contact them together in June. And so, if I'm being honest, Matt really just he is focused on let's get the things that are in my name paid off first, and that's totally outside of the Dave Ramsey plan. I'm not necessarily that's not the route I want to go. We just have not slowed down long enough to do this. We just are still adjusting to our new lifestyle and figuring out, what life is going to be like. So I'm hoping June, since we didn't go anywhere and that kind of thing, that we'll be able to sit down and take care of some of that. So going down through this list here, a couple other things. We expected to see child support come out as soon as Matt started working for the state, because they obviously run the child support. But wouldn't you know it, they have not started it yet. So we had 0 come out for child support. His student loans are deferred. This is our Traverse payment. And then, on child support, the other thing is we got an update on his arrearage this month, and it's up. That's because, so this number has been adjusted. That's because of the 10 months that he was off work. And the good news is that his youngest has graduated and he will no longer owe any current going forward. So once the deduction starts coming out of his checks, it will all go towards the arrearage at $800 per month. So that will be really good. He'll start chipping away at this. And we are looking forward to doing that because he owes that money. We both agree on that and are committed to that, and we just need to get that going again. So overall, that brings us to, you can see here, I was off by $575 in what I budgeted. And then we ended up being way under for what the actual was, which was why we were able to do some things for what I'm about to share with you. But the total that we paid off in June is $2,052.74. And the net that we have paid off since we started our life on a budget on February 1st is $10,122.91. So just over $2,000 per month. And this is we've had a lot of ups and downs in here. Like, we've added things that I didn't have in February. This has kind of been an ongoing moving target for us. But this is the number that I have today that I'm aware of that we started with. And so this is where we are. This is where we started. This is where we are now. And the difference is $10,122. So that is our budget report for June. And I know this is a long video, so I'm going to try and make this quick. So here's the big news. There is an annual conference that brings positive money messages and media together called FinCon. This year's theme is called Money Nerds Unite. I kid you not, I love that theme. And I won a scholarship to attend it. I am so excited. So a huge thank you goes to Budget Girl for sharing the opportunity, or I never would have known about it. I was one of 50 people to win a scholarship, and I am feeling so blessed, you guys. I can't even tell you. So many in the financial and frugal community attend this each year, and that includes a bunch of people that you probably follow. And Rachel Cruz, Jean Chatsky, and Chris Hogan are all speaking at this year's event. I cannot wait to be in the same room with those people. So here's the thing, though. The scholarship gets me in the door. That's it. It gets me in the door to I'm sorry, I'm moving around. It gets me in the door to the event. It does not get me on a plane. It doesn't give me a place to sleep, and I'm probably supposed to eat while I'm gone for 6 days. So we have to save up for airfare, hotel, and meals. The great news is that I have found a roommate, and I can't wait to meet her in real life. She's actually from Canada, and we're finding that we have quite a few things in common, and so we're getting to know each other. There's a connection, there's a Facebook group for all of this, and that helps you do this kind of thing so that you can be more frugal when you're attending, a conference about living a frugal, money-minded life. So anyway, she also won a scholarship, so she and I will be newbies together, and I'm really, really looking forward to this opportunity. Um, it's going to give me an opportunity to learn from leaders in the industry and bring more back for me and Matt to use in our journey, and even better to share with all of you. So this is a really exciting opportunity for me, and I didn't see it coming. I had no plans to go to FinCon, but I was familiar with it because I saw Budget Girl put up her videos from FinCon 2017 that she had on her channel, and so that's how I was aware of it. I just never dreamed in a million years that I would go this year. So anyhow, taking advantage of it. It's a $500 scholarship, and I am taking that money and running, and I'm just going to be a sponge while I'm there and learn everything I possibly can. So that's going to change up our budgeting a little bit for the next few months. So we're going to have to figure out exactly how that's going to all play out. And it's at the end of September. FinCon's at the end of September. So when I get back from that in October, we should get back to whatever our normal is. But in the meantime, now you know, and you've got our budget report for June, and that is all I have for you guys for this month. So we would love to hear from you about how your budgeting is going. If you have any money wins that you want to share with us, I'd love to hear them. And I will try to make it a point to share them with the audience when I do my next video. So make sure to share with us below. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything for us, also leave those below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe, because we now are putting up new videos every Sunday and every Wednesday. So that's all I got for you this month. Until next time.
Are you going to get that bottle? There you go. Look at that big girl. Look at that big girl. What are you doing? Are you going to get the bottle? Look here. You want it? You want it? You can do it. You can do it. Good girl.